Hey everyone, it's Connie Fife, and welcome back to Don't Blame Me with Connie Fife. And here on the pod, we share stories that mean, well, pretty much not a damn thing, but we throw in some learnings along the way. So you could say today that I learned about, you fill in the blanks. And we want you leaving feeling really great about yourself. So today's show is about the building blocks of sustainable business. And our guest today, he was a featured competitor on the latest season of the Entrepreneurship reality show, The Blocks. And if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to go check it out. He beat out his competition, not just one, two, five, 10 people, but 50,000 competitors that he made it to the finals, that he got there. He was on that show. We're going to talk more about how that reality show took place. And The Blocks is now in its seventh season, and it's a very unique mix of, say, competition, business boot camp, and reality TV that brings very ambitious founders together in a very intense entrepreneurship challenge. And who doesn't like a dance? So our guest today, if you haven't already guessed it, is Dante White, and he is the founder and CEO of Oppuous. Okay, I want to make sure I got that right. Oppuous. He founded his business in 2021. So think about it. He founded this business during that word we don't want to be saying anymore, COVID. So while he was working, he found that working with business owners and helping them to streamline their technology needs, giving them the right solutions, and then also saving money in a very convenient one-stop marketplace. So who doesn't like to save money? So welcome to the pod, Dante White. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Well, it's so cool to learn more about you because I go stalking my guests before they come on to find out what you do and what you're up to, and learning more and more about you and the show that you were on. But I really want to step back. You started the business during COVID, so let me ask you, why? Why?
Yeah, so like many unfortunate people, I lost my job during COVID. I lost two jobs during COVID, right? So one right at the beginning, and right there, like February, March of 2020. And then, got onto a large corporation, kind of looked around. I was like, well, this thing is not sustainable. And in November of that year, I was let go. So I kind of took the holiday season off, right?
Okay.
I was like, let's not jump into something new. Let's just relax a little bit and, kind of switch my gears. It's been a rough year already. It was 2020 when this happened. And I actually started two businesses in 2021. One was a medical business because I just so happened to run into some supply lines for, medical, COVID kits and masks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fraud happening at that time. And I, found some solutions there. So I started that business, but at the same time, I also started Oppuous, right? And the real genesis of it was, I was dreaming about this business since 2015 and trying to work it as a side hustle. And what I always tell people is if you treat it like a side hustle, it's going to stay on the side. And when I got laid off, I was like, this is my opportunity, right? At that point, we were all facing what we thought was certain death,
Yeah.
And so I was like, F this. If I don't go out there and live my dream, if I make another person rich and myself tired, I'm going to be upset. So I'm going to go out here and build this thing that I think is a viable option. And it turns out it is.
Well, you made a really, really good point in there that I want everyone to hear again. And that is a side hustle will only stay on the side. You got to put your whole self in there.
You have to, at some point, you have to take that leap. It's super scary, right? I'm a single father, right? Everything relies on my shoulders and I completely bootstrap the thing. I don't come from money, right? Like I was homeless as a kid, first person in my family to graduate high school, let alone go to college. And so I let fear dictate my life for a long time. And I think a lot of people did. And for me, COVID was the catalyst for change of like, you know what? I can't do that anymore. I really can't. I have to make this everything. And it's not been easy, but it has been fun and it's been a growth experience. I'll tell you what, ready? You think you're good at something and then you have to put on all the hats. I'm operations, I'm marketing. I'm like, I just was good at sales.
Well, everybody wants a salesperson, so be careful what you say there. Because that's typically that many people don't want to be wearing is the sales piece. And that's what we focus on. But yeah, you have to wear so many hats, right? Oh, I mean, I was a corporate CEO and I lost my job 16 years ago and trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I remember calling my former assistant, Stephanie, and saying, okay, I'm gonna send out a letter to everybody that I know because I'm an important person, right? And I'm gonna let them know that I started my own business. And I said to her, I said, so how do I mail merge? She started laughing. And she's like, all right, let me pick myself up off the floor. She said, first of all, nobody mail merges. Like, oh, okay. But and it's again just learning everything. You're an entrepreneur now, everything from the the social media and everything else that comes with it. So it is crazy. But it sounds like you're offering businesses, probably crazy people like me, crazy ladies like me, the tools and showing them how, like, what software they need, what hardware solutions that they need for their customers. So share a little bit more about that and how are you standing out to be different from some, say, the big box stores?
Yeah, for sure. So the cool thing about Oppuous is we have over 1,000 solutions in our portfolio and growing. And so the way that I kind of look at it is we have two different ways of how we help entrepreneurs and business owners find their technology solutions. One is a very disruptive way. We've created a marketplace kind of like Amazon, where you can go on and you can search whatever type of solution you want. You can find side-by-side comparisons of all the available options and click and buy, right? So as generally we know what we know, like, okay, I know DocuSign. And I'm just going to buy that. But that might not actually be the best solution for you based off of what you already have in place and different ways that you're trying to go. And so this will give you an easy option to look at all the available options. And if you need additional help, we have a nationwide network of cloud specialists and engineers. So people, like I said, don't know what they don't know. And so we are that helping hand. Kind of the way that I put it is we're kind of like almost like an insurance broker in a way, right? So you don't know what solutions are available, and an insurance broker helps you find the best solution for your life at that time and what it's going to need to build out to reach your goals. We do the same thing, except for we're agnostic, right? We don't work for a farmers. We don't work for a State Farm. We work for you as the client, and we have all the options available regardless of the label. So it makes it really simple to buy. You can see all your contracts in one place. You have one tech support module, right? So you're not having to call this supplier for that, another one for that. When does this contract renew? When do I need to, all of that thing that gets kind of very complex very fast. So it's just a single console. You log in, you can see everything from there. You can create support tickets from there. And you can divvy out licenses as your organization grows. Connie comes on, she's in marketing, click the button that you built out like a marketing portfolio. It'll give you all the solutions you need as an employee. So it's really just simplifying the process, right? We looked to disrupt the way that things were done.
So are you working with corporations or more of an entrepreneur? Share a little bit more about who your ideal customer is.
Yeah, we can work with anybody. I mean, I love working with entrepreneurs like myself. I love working with a small business. I think that we need the most amount of help, right? Because we are so lean. And so it's a great option for entrepreneurs, especially as you get started, because your company's going to grow, right? That's what we all hope, is that we, turn into, the next biggest thing. And so starting fundamentally there is kind of the key, and we help you in that spot. But for larger organizations, we help a lot because it's contract management. You can go in and you can see all the solutions you have, even if you didn't buy them on the platform. We can do an audit, see everything that's available, put it on there so you can instantly start seeing spend. You can say, hey, I have 300 Microsoft licenses. We only have 200 people. We're wasting money, right? And so that type of thing happens at large organizations all the time because people come and go, people move and change and add. And so we really help on that side of things too. And then, like I said, we augment IT teams. More and more businesses are being forced to wear multiple hats, work longer hours, take on additional duties. And so we augment IT teams as well with our support modules. So
okay. So
very cost effective.
Sounds that way. Well, elaborate on the DE&I space that you're working.
Yeah, definitely. So the namesake itself, Oppuous, stands for an opportunity for you is an opportunity for us, right? And so when I was dreaming this up in 2015, I was really looking for a sustainable way to create generational wealth. As I said earlier, I'm the first person in my family to graduate high school and go straight to college, right? We experienced homelessness for a little bit as a child. And so there wasn't that network. There wasn't that, nepotism that some people get to, ride on, right? And so I reached a certain level in corporate architecture and I hit that ceiling and there just was no more, right? Because I wasn't, just almost not a kiss ass. I just wasn't. I was a performer. And so I was like, there has to be a way to create a sustainable environment without having to, give handouts, so to speak, without making this, complicated. And so what we do is we went out and got all the certifications from federal, state, local level, third-party validation certifications to meet DE&I standards for organizations. So it's a big thing to do. Whenever you purchase software, hardware, et cetera, through Oppuous, you satisfy your DE&I requirements on the front end. Now, on the back end, we reinvest a portion of everything into another minority, veteran, or woman-based business, right? Because the opportunity for you is an opportunity for us. I wanted to create a cyclical economy of creating this like thing that could be larger than myself, right? And how do we do that? Because your network is your net worth, right? How do we create these programs? How do we really help entrepreneurs where they need it? And starting my own thing, bootstrapping, and I can tell you, capital is one of the biggest things. The other part is getting in the doors and networking to the other parts.
That's the big piece of it. For any startup, it's of course the networking and it's the funding to get going because so many people have, wonderful ideas that truly can help somebody else. But unless you have that funding and backing and networking, that's really, really critical. So you did it smart. But you did it smart. A lot of people jump into it. They jump in the deep end without looking at, okay, what other pieces should be in place before I get to the deep end. Well, you did it smart by looking at, okay, what do we need in place that we're going to help somebody else's pain point at where they don't know how to figure it out. And again, going back to, like you said, people don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the reality show, The Blogs.
Yeah, it was
How did you get involved with that?
super, super exciting opportunity. So I filled out a form, I think on Facebook. I was up late night doing entrepreneur stuff, probably disassociating, honestly, is probably what was happening because it was probably like hour 13 into straight work. And an ad popped up, hey, are you an entrepreneur? Would you like to be on a reality show? And I was like, let's just fill it out and see. I'm the type of person that is like, I would die in a horror movie. I'm very curious. I will go into that door. I was like, let's just see where this goes. Filled out the application, went through the casting process, not really thinking that, it would truly go anywhere. And lo and behold, yeah, like you said in the opening, my business ended up beating out 50,000 other businesses to get on the show. They joke that it's easier to get into Harvard Law School. So I called my mom and was like, because one of her things is, you should have been a lawyer. You should have been it's like the thing, every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, I should have been a lawyer is the thing. And so I was like, hey, guess what? I actually got into something that was harder than law school. I'm going to be on this reality TV show. It's like, what? Who gets to do that? So like I said, super exciting experience. Definitely something that I didn't envision my life kind of going into that direction. And just being in that room was electric. There were 70 of us from all over the nation. There was even a person from Canada that joined us as well, where we flew in, we lived in a hotel together, lived, breathed, had parties. We weren't supposed to, but we did, and,
that part out.
And we went through this really crazy accelerator boot camp with some really esteemed judges and had to do like daily tasks. Like today is technology stats. Today is lead nurturing, whatever the actual thing was. So we'd go through this, intense course. We would then get 15 minutes to prepare, and then we would just, boom, have to pitch on the spot and then work and get judged by these, people that are making millions of dollars, big name, big judges. So it was a very vulnerable moment, right? I think, some of us were already making millions of dollars. Some of us were brand new. Some of us had just had an idea on a paper. So there was varying degrees on where we're at, but
Okay.
it was a vulnerable moment, right? We're showing our baby, we're showing our
Yeah.
entrepreneur, journey, but we're doing it on a very public platform.
Right. Which is very scary to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Wow. Wow. Well, congratulations,
Yeah, thanks so much.
on doing that, not becoming an attorney like your mom wanted.
Hey, I'm not dead yet. Maybe.
You never know what's going to come next, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's jump into some rapid fire questions where we go behind the curtain. And these are pretty much 1-2 word answers. So what is something people get wrong about you?
Ooh, something they get wrong about me. That I am an a-hole.
Ooh. But that's what they get wrong about you.
Yeah. I really am. No, it's people often take my sometimes serious demeanor as being too frank and too straightforward, but I kind of have even though I joke around quite a bit, I have kind of a no nonsense attitude when it comes to business dealings. Sometimes that rubs people the wrong way, but you know what you're going to get.
Yes, as you should. I've been told I'm a bear in a china shop sometimes, so I get it. I mean, it's like you said, it's our baby. Like this is, what we do. It's our integrity, our reputation. Everything is on the line. So I get you. What's one piece of life-altering wisdom that you've been given that we should all be aware of?
Life-altering wisdom. Take chances. Absolutely take chances. You can always recoup.
Ooh, love that. What is one of our lessons that you need to keep learning over and over again? Oh, holy shit, not again lesson.
It's to, kind of speak up earlier, right? And to make sure that I am protecting my energy. I give a lot. I'm a giver. And where that leads me is to deplete myself of energy and resources. And so that's something that I'm working on in therapy. Shout out to people in therapy, right? Like definitely should do that. And so I think that's where that a lesson that I habitually live.
I love that. And that really comes down to the mental health that we, as an organization, we do a lot with mental health, and we're very much mental health advocates. So don't be ever, afraid to share that, to share that type of information. And I shout out to our sponsor, Arby's. They do a sponsor with us to help us support a lot of those mental health initiatives that we're very much involved in.
That's
so what is your truth?
So my truth is kindness. I think that the world could be a much better place if everybody met other people with a little bit more compassion and kindness and really kind of put themselves in other people's shoes more often. I live in abundance mind state. That's why I created Oppuous. I really wanted to see if I could create an organization that does good while doing great, right? Is it possible to start the genesis of your business as a way to give back and also to create, wealth for myself and my family? And I think that sometimes that becomes an afterthought. I think that sometimes it never gets addressed. And I think that if we all led with the idea that there's always enough for everybody, then we would always, have enough for ourselves and then some.
Yeah, pie is big enough for all of us.
Yeah, I say you don't need a piece of the pie. The world's a kitchen. You can make your own pie. It's beautiful.
Ooh, love that. Love that. So what's something that you're really excited about right now?
I am really excited for my son's upcoming baseball season.
Right.
Yeah, I've got a 10-year-old. He lives, breathes, sleeps baseball. We were traveling all over the state last year. He did really well. He got recruited by a bigger team this year. And so I'd love to see his life, light up. This is what I do. It's for him. Like he is my everything. And so to be able to provide, this baseball camp and this tournament and all these things that are happening, it's really cool. He gets to follow his dream, and that's what I'm super excited about.
Oh, I love that. That's just beautiful. Just beautiful testimony talking about you as a single dad and how you care for your family. I love that. So let our listeners know how they can learn more about you.
Yeah. So if you want to learn more about Oppuous, you can go to our website, oppuous.com. We're also on all social media platforms under that Oppuous moniker as well. Pretty much everything but TikTok. I haven't really figured out how I can translate to TikTok, right? Like I'm not as entertaining as those other videos. I got to figure that part of it out, but that's how I can find this.
You know what? I'm with you on TikTok. I really am. I try it, and I know people who are doing phenomenal on TikTok. So one day you and I'll be able to figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, Dante, I want to thank you for being here. I mean, you really do have an incredible story. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and you're always welcome back. I would love to have you back on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me again. I really appreciate you.
You are welcome. Well, everyone, that is all we have for today, and I want to thank you all for being here. Now, you're listening to Don't Blame Me with Connie Fife. We are the pod about, well, just about nothing. And my goal is to help you feel good about yourself and also change the way we all look at the world. So remember to validate your strength, elevate your greatness. It's not about the we, it's about the us. So let's all be unstoppable together. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.